2019's been a busy year for SAA. We hosted our Congress. We have a Congress every 2 years, and so 2019 was our Congress year. And so we hosted that in partnership with the Argentinian Seed Association, ASTA. And we were very, very happy with the outcome of the Congress. We had over 400 delegates participate, and excellent representation from international regulators as well. Approximately 80 regulators attended the Congress. And so I think that's, as far as an achievement goes, our greatest achievement for the year. As well as, there were many ongoing initiatives that we had progress on.
Yeah, I think adding some comments regarding the Congress, we considered it very successful, not only because some of the feedback we got from participants, but also, we have a trading floor that was sold out, a poster session that for us is very important regarding giving the research institute, universities to present their works and their research. So it was a full room also. And definitely a very good plenary session with nice agenda where we got good feedback. So we are really happy about the outcomes of our Congress. And regarding, I will say, cooperation agreements, I will highlight a couple of those. We partnered a lot with regulators in our region, in the Americas. And this year we have signed 2 cooperation agreements. One was with ICA, which is the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, where all the Ministry of Agriculture gathers from North, Central, and South America. So for SAA, it's extremely important to have a partner of this kind because it's a good way to reach all the regulatory bodies at the different countries to address our topics. And mostly for 2020, our goal is to prioritize plant breeding innovation and phytosanitary issues within that agreement. And also we have signed, or we are about to sign the agreement with COSABE, which is the mirror partner, I would say, of NAPO, of the North American Plant Protection Initiative. This is for South America. And also for us, it's extremely important because under the COSABE umbrella, we have all the national plant protection organizations. And we will work towards the new international standard on seed movements, on how to implement it, and the system approach. And this is something we have been working a lot in the past years.
On Monday, we had our board meeting where we nominated and elected our new board members for the next 2-year term. We're lucky to have some very excellent leaders who have agreed to participate on the board for the Seed Association of the Americas. And many of these individuals come from service on their own national seed associations. So they've got a good history of participating in seed association activities, on a board, good governance experience, good leadership experience. And I found in the last 2 years as president, there's a great deal of support at the board level as a result of their experience. And it really helps, I think, with the overall operations of the association to have that caliber of a board member participate.
I will add to that also it's good that the profile of our board members, you have there people represented big multinational companies, but also family-owned companies or medium-sized companies. So we have a broad representations of the industry there, which is that I think is very good for SAA because it brings different way of thinking and also different realities about the industry. So we are 10 members because we have 10 member countries in the board, and I think we have good challenges ahead and good people on it. Well, the first that come into my mind is phytosanitary issues. Definitely. This is if you think in the short term or immediate business trade movement of seeds, definitely is phytosanitary. but also when a company needs to look in the long term, it's more about investment landscape. And there are other issues that the company should look at. And it's about stability, but it's if you focus on the business thing, intellectual property is crucial, pre-and breeders' rights. And this is something that SAA has been working with. Somehow we have been struggling because it's extremely difficult to work on issues that are so national. They are national discussions because, as you know, many countries of SAA are UPOV 78 members. And our position as an association is that all countries should move towards UPOV 91. And that's our focus when we work on intellectual property issues. So these are the two main things that come into my mind when you think in the very short term, FIDO, in the long term, business, intellectual property.
And I would just add that the primary mandate of the Seed Association of the Americas is to facilitate seed trade within countries of the Americas. And the operations of all four of our working groups are focused on enabling more efficient trade. So clearly phytosanitary, that is their primary objective, is identifying challenges, identifying barriers, working with national plant protection organizations to identify the challenges and come up with solutions. But it's also the focus of the Seed Applied Technology Working Group, where asynchronous approvals, lack of harmonization, seed treatment products registered in one country, not registered in another, that challenge that trade. That's their focus, to help identify those problems and come up with solutions. So really overall our activities are clearly focused on reducing barriers for trade.
Yeah.
Well, that's a quick one for me. I'm really excited to hand the gavel over to Lorena Basso, our incoming president, and watch her take the reins. And I know she has many goals for the board and the executive and the staff that she's identified that are important for the Seed Association of America. So I'm really excited to work alongside Lorena and our new vice president, Angel Saavedra from AMSAC.
Yes, I will add that regarding the strategy, we are opening our scope of stakeholders. We have worked a lot of within the industry, among ourselves, and our key partners were, and they will still be, regulators. But we need to start having more people on board, and that's why we have already started conversation with research institute, the academia part, the grain sector. So nowadays, plant breeding innovation issues is an important thing in our region, in the Americas. We have a lead in the world regarding this. Most of the countries globally that have already regulation in place are from the Americas regarding plant breeding innovation or gene editing. So it's crucial for us to open our scope of stakeholders, and that's part of the 2020 mission.
In the early years, when Lorena's father founded SAA and was the first president, there was a core group of, I think it was Canada, the United States, Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, that were really the drivers behind SAA, and that continued for a number of years. And then Diego came on as the executive director, and he had done a fair bit of work to try to draw in other national seed associations from South America, Central South America, to help enhance our membership. And most recently we added Peru as a member, and Colombia as a member, and I know that's going to be a continued focus moving forward. There are a few more countries that we would like to see come on board as members, and so there'll be efforts made in that area.
Yeah, definitely. Central America is a region that we will approach in the coming month. And regarding other members, like companies, we are also trying to let companies know about what SAA is doing, our work plans in our working groups, So they can join either directly as member of SAA or through the National Seed Association by nominating or appointing people to work at the working groups. So they don't need to be direct memberships, but definitely we recommend to participate at the working groups. Well, last Monday at the Board of Directors, we approved to organize our face-to-face working group meetings that will be taking place in Lima, in Peru, on September 15th and 16th. And also we are happy that we can announce that our 8th Seed Congress of the Americas will be taking place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, August 31st, September the 1st, and September the 2nd. So we invite everyone, followers of Seed World, to save the dates for those two events.
Oh, great question. Lorraine is the current president of the Argentinian Seed Association, so I'm not sure I'm well qualified to give Lorraine a lot of advice. But as it relates to the Seed Association in the Americas, she is going to inherit a really competent staff. Diego, Inez, Juan, Antonio have done excellent work in the last 2 years in advancing the interests of the working groups, and she can rely on the staff. I think that is one piece of advice I can give her is don't worry about your staff. They can definitely continue to carry the ball with your direction. And similarly, when it comes to the board and the executive, as we discussed earlier, it's a very competent board. I'd say you don't have to do everything yourself. Lean on your executive, lean on your board. We're here to help you, and you don't have to, you don't have to do everything in year one. You don't have to do everything in year two. It's really about continuing the evolution and continuing to make incremental advances. We don't have to do everything at once. There's lots of big goals, but let's pick and choose what our priorities are and make sure we are successful with those priorities.
Yeah, for us, it has been very important to be close to ISF because our agenda are pretty much the same. Surely we have a more local flavor here in the Americas, but topics regarding plant breeding innovation, IP or plant breeders' rights, phytosanitary issue, they are all on the agenda of ISF. And so we, in the past, I would say year and a half, 2 years, we have strengthened our relation, our communication. We are participating in most of our ISF working groups. So we have like linking pin person between SAA working groups and ISF ones. And it really worth it because we are not duplicating efforts and we are not wasting or investing twice the same resources for the same topics. So I will highlight the good cooperation we have been having with ISF in the past years, and surely it will keep that way. Thank you so much.
Very good.
To Seed World.
Thank you.